Hey guys, how's it going? Just let me fix 1 second. I have just 1 second, guys. A little issue with my headphones. Just 1 second, guys. Let me just turn on and we're ready to go now. I think everyone can see me now, guys. Can we do like a little check to verify that everyone can see me, everyone at the lounge? If you can just confirm that you can see me and hear me out properly, perfect. Okay, everyone can see me and listen to me. So let's start over this AMA. Today we have Chimp Inu team. We have Gary with us. How's it going, Gary? Let's do a mic check.
Let me know if I'm audible correctly, right?
Yeah, brother, I can hear you loud and clear.
How are you doing, my man?
I am doing perfectly, to be honest. I'm doing perfectly. I'm currently at Spain. You know, I'm based in Argentina, but right now I'm having a little trip in Spain. So I'm actually enjoying this country and having such a great time today. It's been a quite a long day, you know, because when you're far away from your home, you actually do a lot of things. You know, you're like all day walking, getting to know new places, new things, doing some shopping and stuff. So actually, it was kind of interesting today. My Sunday was actually pretty decent, but of course, I was all day expecting this. You all know that I've already called this project. I'm a huge fan of AMAs. I think everyone here at the lounge knows that, guys. I love coming in here, you know, connecting, see all these great people. We have 64 participants at this moment. It's actually a pretty great attendance for a Sunday. So I'm actually pretty hyped about that. And that also means, you know, Gary, for you to know that everyone wants to know more about Chimp Inu, because if not, they won't be even connecting, you know. And I'm seeing the attendance, and I see a lot of people that are actually not, you know, regulars in my community. So there are lots of people that are just connecting in order to find more about your project. So we are eagerly to know more about that. But let's start officially the AMA, guys. As you all know, welcome everyone to Drive It's Crypto Launch. Here we discuss all the best projects that are available on Pinktail, self-launches, and everything, whether it's Ethereum, Binance, or other blockchains. We always have to discuss it there. As long as it's printing, it's going to be mentioned here. And today we have Chimp Inu that is currently having a fair launch at Pinktail, as you're seeing on the screen that Gary is sharing right now. There's still 53 more minutes until the fair launch is over. And before we start, guys, I want you all to know something really important, and that is I got to know Chimp Inu because Chimp Inu made a partnership with one of our partners, that is Rich Quack 2.0. Remember, guys, we had Rich Quack 2.0 CEO here at the channel. We had an AMA with them. We helped them do a fair launch. And then when they got listed, they did a 3x, you know, that's 300 return for all of the fair launch investors. So that's actually part of why I'm really excited for this, because I know that Rich Quack is involved. And that's why you, of course, are going to keep on supporting Chimp Inu. But without further ado, Gary, welcome. Let's start the AMA first, knowing a little bit more about you. We would like to know more about the Chimp Inu core team. We would like to know more about the CEO. How is the core team made of? How many members are there? Who is in charge of what? And also, if you already have experience before in other crypto projects, and and what motivated you to make this project? Those are the three things we want to know, of course. A little bit about the team, what motivated to make this project, and also the experience everyone from the core team has.
All right. First of all, good to hear, Matt, that you're traveling and your weekend is going all fine, right? So that's
Thank you very much, bro.
Yeah, so I'll be addressing all the questions. I know a lot of you might be having questions about the project, right? So to start with, let me give you a brief introduction about myself. So I'll be hosting the CMA and representing Chimp Inu team. And if I talk about the team, there are a total of 4 people involved in it. And Captain Chimp is the CEO and founder. So if I talk about the background of our CEO, it is really important to understand how a project gets, created, or how the founders start the project, right? So based on CEO's experience in personal life as well, he is handling businesses as well, right? So he has a very vast experience when it comes to raising businesses. And also in crypto space, he's from a very good amount of time, is in the space from a very good amount of time. So that experience added to it, and now you can see Chimp Inu being created right now. interesting part is that you might be having a couple of projects out there, right? So they come and go after some, giving X amount of profits to the investors. But usually they start giving out utilities very later on in the stage, right? But if you'll see with the Chimp, I hope everybody is able to see my screen, right? So if I'll be able to see, show you something regarding the DApp, you'll be able to see the dashboard is ready and good to go. As the sales start, as the launch starts, you'll be able to see the dashboard getting updated, right? You will be able to connect your wallet. You'll be able to see your holdings as to how much holding does the person is holding, right? And there are different sections you'll be able to see. You will be able to as well burn if you'd like to, right? And or else you'll be able to see the amount of tokens getting burned. So regarding burn section, let me give you a brief about how the tax allocations are, right? So if I'll talk about tax allocation, there's a 3% tax on buy and a sell tax of 10%, right? Now, where it is getting distributed. And now here's the interesting part. Everybody is aware about how burn mechanism works, right? Now it's an auto burn. So that means with each and every transaction, there is a 3% burn that is ongoing with the transactions, right? So if I talk about supply, 50% is already burned. If you'll be able to see in the pink sale page, that 50% is already initially burned, right? The supply, which is there for pre-sale buyers, are 26%, and for liquidity, it is 13%. So just imagine the pre-sale buyers are 26%. Now, imagine 3% supply getting reduced with each and every transactions, right? The burn mechanism that will take place in Chimp would be an amazing factor to pump up the price, right? Because 3%, that's a huge amount of number that's going into burn section. So that's about it. A lot of good stuff. You'll be able to see the swap as well coming in the future, right? So it has already been, the best part is that we already have in-house developers, right? So all this development that you see, we have not hired anybody. It is inbuilt, and we have good developers, strong developers to add to a point. So that about it. I mean, if you have any other questions, you can definitely, it's just a beginning. I've shared you a rough things about the Chimp project, right? So to sum up, it is really important to understand that how a meme project gets an hype, right? So meme projects are usually a choice of investors, and if they give a good return to investors, we all know how memes are going in the market, right? And what return they can give. So that's an expectation that every investors have. So if I talk about team as well, team is having a very good amount of experience in the field, right? So they are doing a pretty good job right now. So, you can go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So actually you said that there are 4 team members that they, of course, have a little experience on crypto. So that means that they have already done previous projects, right?
Everybody has a good amount of experience, whether it be handling a project, right? So if I talk about core team members, they are interconnected, considered as colleagues, right? They were ex-colleges and they were that stuff. So they came together and made this project successful. Made this project. Success is comes in later stage, right? So this is something which is built by colleagues, which are staying together, which are working together. It's not that the team is one part and the other guy is from a different country, right? It's not that. Every team member is based on a single country, right? So that is a very important factor, because sometimes time zones are also important. And I'm sure you might understand, you are already traveling, right? You might be facing that issues or something.
Yeah, of course, man. And to be honest, that is something I like to see in a project, when I know that every team member is actually together, physically together, because that's a huge differential. Because I've been in crypto for quite a while, and I saw a lot of great projects that actually died or had a lot of management issues because they had team members that were, for example, one sitting in the US and the other one was sitting, I don't know, maybe in China, and the other one was sitting in Thailand, and the other one, and they were like so globally distributed that, it's complicated. So I'm actually a fan of when everyone is in the same place, for the core team, because of course you can have a core team, of two people sitting in one place, and then of course have like different kind of advisors or helpers on other sides of the world, but actually to know that the four team members are are all together into one place, that's something I actually really like. But I wanted to ask you, Gary, what are you related to them? I know that you're here, you are the AMA specialist, but I wanted to know also, how are you connected into the project? Are you also part of the core team, or are you just here to expose the project? How is your work with Chimp Inu? Just to understand a little bit more. Gary, are you there? Guys, can you check if it's me that it's tilted, or can you hear me, guys? Can anyone confirm in the lounge? I don't know if it's me or Gary. Okay, yeah, you can hear me out. Okay, perfect. So I think that Gary is having a little difficulties with the microphone.
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted. So let me just go through that.
Don't worry,
so,
perfect. We can hear you now.
There's a slight disturbance in your, there's a slight disturbance. You can ask your team members, or is it me only who's facing an issue with your voice, or is it everybody who's facing an issue with your voice? Kindly confirm that.
No, I asked in the group, and everyone says that they can hear me, but they can't hear you. But now we can hear you loud and clear, man. Now I think that it's fixed.
All right. Yeah. So, I think I've answered your question, but that was muted. So let me go through it once again, right? So
yeah.
Regarding the team section, let me go through it once again. That the core team members are 4 members, right? So apart from that, I'm somebody who's giving exposure to Chimp Inu, to all the AMAs that I'll be handling, and consider me as a host for Chimp Inu, right? So I'm also leading, as I've already been into a couple of projects and gave a lead in sort of sense to understand, right? So that is something that my expertise are. I usually present the project out there for investors. So that is something awesome. My core strengths are, right?
That's perfect. Great to know, man. Great to know. And I love also when projects hire, AMA specialists, because that's something that they actually want to make the AMAs great. Because like I always say, I'm a huge fan of AMAs. I think that's pretty clear. I said that all the time, and I have like 1 AMA daily since I opened the channel, or even more. So actually, I think that AMAs are one of the most powerful marketing tools that there are out there, available. So actually, the team wanting to, to enhance the AMA, working with you, that's something bullish for me. But okay, guys. So we talked about the team. We talked about a little bit about the tokenomics that Gary said and everything. But now let's make a deep dive into what the project is. So basically, Gary, what we want to ask you is that you could make like a short summary or a short version, as if you were explaining this project to, I don't know, maybe a 5-year-old, because a lot of people, of course, they already seen the website, they already seen the white paper, but there are 73 participants that may have not done it yet. So they are actually finding out this project right now. They just joined into the AMA and they're saying, hey, what is this project about, man? Let's take a look. So we would like you to tell us, very in a short summary, what is Chimp Inu about? Like, what are you trying to do? What are the future plans? What are the core utilities that are already live, the ones that are coming? Like, if someone asks you, hey, what's Chimp Inu? What will be your answer?
So, as you can see from the headline itself, it clearly says that your memorable journey to memestic investments, right? So, as the headline suggests, it is really important to understand how memes work, right? Now, meme is usually 90% or 99%, to be very specific, is community driven, right? It is really important to make a community which is strong enough to hold, right? We have seen multiple instances where community is so bullish that they hold for a certain amount of time, and you see what response those meme projects can give, right? If I take vision of Chimp Inu, it is really simple that we want community to be so strong that we give investors a very good return, because team I mean, team has complete capability. I'm interacting with them on regular basis, and I've seen how potential they have. Right. So, considering that they have core understanding of Solidity, Python, or any other coding language, you say so, right? So, I'm not that good in those sense, but I mean, this is something that I'm putting in forward for a rough estimate, right?
Yeah.
So, considering those things, I've seen how good the potential is, and I was convinced, to be very honest, I was convinced that the project can give X amounts of return to the investors, right? Now, for that, team is really pushing hard for building community. As you might be seeing, we have a couple of promotions done as well from Hulk, Gems, and Skyrim. I mean, you say the name. I mean, they're coming in the future run, right? So, as you can see, currently it has raised a very good amount of BNBs, considering that it is an audited project, right? 47.64. I mean, that's a decent number. And you know how the final minutes are, right? So we all will witness what we raise. So if I talk about that now, usually meme projects, they will utility later on the stage, right? But here you can see the utility live. You can use that. And I mean, I have had discussion with the team, and they've said that the swap will be live in a couple of days of time, right? So also the staking is coming. So, I mean, having a meme, I mean, everybody has a good amount of supply in the meme, right? So they want to get return. Now here you can see that the burn is ongoing. So they'll be getting a very good pump price action after it gets launched, right? So that is also something key factor that needs to be understood, that when investors get good return, they stick to the project. Not this project, any other projects, right?
Yeah.
If the team owners or the core team members give what the investors want, they stick it, right? They stick till the end. So team is focusing on that. So if I summarize it, it is really important to understand that I mean, team has already, I mean, given a couple of things when it comes to DApp and everything, right? So it is not that they are just promising something and trying to raise money. They are actually delivering it, right? So when it comes to promotion as well, they're doing good promotions, as we're also doing EVA, so you can understand how they're doing promotions and all, right? So it's a very good start. Let's see where it goes.
That's great, man. That's great. And that was actually a great summary of Chimp. And I think that everyone here knows already, is beginning to understand that Chimp, it's a meme token, but they also have utility, guys. And that's a mix that I personally like. I always say that I love meme tokens, I love utility project, I love the both, okay? But when they mix together, I think that's a great combination, okay? Because adding a little utility to that token and creating an ecosystem based off a meme token is actually very, very smart. It can give like very decent return. And I have seen a lot of projects, a meme token utility project that have actually delivered and have done like great returns. So I was just, of course, I checked the website, the white paper and everything, and I can see that you, of course, have already the dashboard live, but then you are going to have Chimp NFTs, the Chimp swap that is also coming soon, and then you're also going to have the Chimp pad and the Chimp chat. So those are two utilities that we would like to know more, because in the white paper, for example, the Chimp pad, it's also like details coming out soon. And in Chimp Chat, it's like an AI chatbot or something like that. So those are two utilities that we would like to know more about. How are they going to be like? What is the actual use of that? And also an estimated, on the roadmap, when are you going to be releasing that? Or if it's going down like very far in the line, we would like to know about more those two utilities.
All right. So if I talk about Chimp Chat, it's an interesting concept. I mean, it's a decentralized platform where everybody can come and do live chatting with the other guy who's holding the tokens, right? They can also do a video chat with them. Consider a decentralized platform that has been built in order to for holders to chat, right, on a different platform. Though, I mean, it's not going to take that much amount of time, but the main maximum amount of time will be taken for Chimp pad, because consider Pinksail as launchpad, right? So if you are to build something like those, like Pinksail, PinkCell has not been built in a couple of days or months, right? It took a good amount of time to where it is right now. So the Chimp pad will be coming later on in the roadmap, but the Chimp chat will be coming sooner, right? So there are a couple of things going on in the background, like discussion as to how the revenue model will be for Chimp chat or any other utilities that we give. So it is really important to understand how a project performs, right? Without having a revenue system or without having any revenue model, it is not possible for a project to sustain, right? Any project. Whether it be, let's take an example of Tesla as well. There's no revenue model, they cannot sustain, right? So here as well, you might be able to see that there's a 10% tax. But those 10% tax, you also need to see where it is going, right? So it is going at a very, there's a calculated stuff that's going on by the team, right? So 3% goes into marketing, right? Now, this 3% in future development, it's not that we have written something and that will not go. It's definitely going into future developments, like the Chimp chat is coming, Chimp pad is coming, right? So those are development stuff, and it is really important that a project gives certain amount of tax into the development, right? For a project to sustain, right? And also we have smartly applied it because we have only kept 3% for buy tax. We want new investors to come and not give that much amount of tax, right? But for Jeets and for somebody who's going to take the profit in a couple of minutes of time, let them give 10% of tax, and those tax is going into development, right? So, the core holders, they shouldn't be having any issues because the tax is going for development purposes, right? So, considering that, we have kept this tax structure because founder and CEO of Chimp, is really good at mathematics. You understand that if he's from the business background, he has those numbers running in his mind that how to get in revenue structure, right? So that we get a good amount of return, and also those return can be applied in the future for the project development, right? So those things are kept in mind, and accordingly things are going right now. So apart from that, that's about it.
That's pretty great. That's pretty good. And I'm glad to know that you have a development tax, because that's something that I personally say all the time. Projects that are here for long term, that have utilities that don't have any type of tax, they will eventually run out of money. It happened to me twice. I have one project that is still alive, and I had one project that is currently, paused. And that was my main issue. When I did, a tax-free project that doesn't count, marketing and development tax, that's a great mistake. So actually, that's great that you're actually doing that. Congratulations for thinking about that. And I also saw that you have a tax for rewards that I really don't get that. Oh, I saw it on the white paper that you're talking about, the future rewards, that it says that you can get rewards in USDT, BNB, and Chimp. So I actually wanted to know, are those rewards coming from that tax? Are you going to take that 2% from community prices and, I don't know, maybe gather a pool and then start, maybe swapping into USDT and giving USDT or giving directly BNB? How are the rewards, that are included on the white paper going to work?
Yep. So, it's really good that you've noticed that, right? So it shows that you have gone through a complete project and you've gone through the white paper as well.
If for all the projects that come, I take time to analyze them completely, man.
So that's great, man. It's really important that you go through that, because when the questions come, it really interests me to go deeper into the answer, right? So if I talk about that, 2% is for community prizes and events, right? So those are events that will be coming in the future, right? Now, those rewards which are mentioned in the white paper will be for utility that we are building, right? So there are a couple of things that we are building. If we say Chimp chat, so there are different platforms that everybody uses in daily drive, right? So why would this shift here? In those case scenario, we want the holders, investors, or new users, right, to come onto our platform. So we'll be offering them rewards in order to get them onboarded, right? So once they get onboarded, it's totally about how the platform is. If they like the platform, they'll stay with the project, or they'll stay on the platform, right? So that's a pretty much simple explanatory explanation that you can give, right? So if I talk about this 2%, there are events and there are rewards. It's a very, different poles apart things, right? So those will be handled by the team. Now, the revenue models which will be generating through that only it will be going, but it won't affect, the users or the tax allocations or tax that we are getting, right? So it won't affect that.
That's great. Perfect. That was something that actually I saw on the white paper, and I wanted to know like where are all those all those prices coming from. So actually they are from the tax, and that makes sense, and that's pretty great for me. Okay, so guys, 30 minutes have already gone by. I have asked about the team. We have talked about Chimp Inu. We have talked about the utilities. I asked about the Chimp chat, the Chimp pad. We also talked about the rewards. And those were my questions. Of course, Gary here talked about the tokenomics as well. He talked about the taxes. So now it's your time to shine, guys. I'm going to allow community questions. And I want to have a quite good amount of community questions, because on the last AMAs, we're getting like 5 or 6. So I wanted to make 10. So what I want you guys in these 30 minutes that we have left is that only ask one question, please, and make it a good question, okay? So we can do question, answer, and we can take like 10 questions today, and that's going to be like really great. So I'm going to start unmuting. Let's see the first one, okay? Gary, are you ready for the community questions?
Always ready, mate. Let them
Perfect. Yeah, love to hear that. Everything that I asked, you answered perfectly. I mean, you're a great speaker, by the way. So let me just start and see who is going to get the first question. Let's just check. We have let's go with Emmanuel. Emmanuel, guys, I don't know why I don't see hands raised on Telegram for MacBook. I'm currently on my MacBook right now, and I don't know why I don't see hands raised, but I'm going to start muting. Okay, Emmanuel, you're alive, man. What's your question for today?
Good evening, everyone. Nice to have you with us, Gary. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, man.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. So my question, I'm really happy about the website and the white paper, the fact that they are not giving unrealistic promises. So my question is about the transparency. On Drybit Launch here, we've actually hosted a project that posted their marketing wallet in the group. So everyone could track it just to show how transparent they are. So what are your steps of showing your transparency to the community?
Yeah, I appreciate that question, mate. So yeah, I got the question. I'm working on it, right? I'm showing you where you can track the marketing wallet, right? So I think you'll be able to see my screen, right? So if I talk about marketing wallet, you'll be able to see the marketing wallet somewhere over. Just a second. Yep. So you'll be able to see, you can just, you have seen the procedure, right? You'll be able to see all the tax that is getting raised into this wallet. It's very clear, transparent way to see because it's already there in the BSC, right? So we cannot manipulate anything. You'll be able to see the balance left, the balance getting generated after the launch has been done, right? So all the amount that's coming into the tax, you'll be able to see here. So I hope I've answered your question, Emmanuel.
Yeah, apart from the marketing wallet, what other plans, how else can you prove your transparency to the community?
Yeah, so regarding the transparency, you might be having a couple of emails with the CEO as well, right? In the group. It is important that you join the group and stay in the group. A lot of things which will be getting fulfilled in the near future. So please join the group. You'll be seeing emails. I already had a discussion with the CEO as well, right? They'll be getting docs as well. So all the things are lined up, but for now, it is really important that they build community, right? So once they build the community, for showing the transparency and how the good the work they can do, right? They have already built something which is useful. It is not something that is not useful, right? It is not something that is shown. It is something that is working fine. You'll be able to connect the wallet now also, and you'll be able to check in the tab section that everything is working perfectly fine. So it's not that they have shared something which is not working, right, or which is partially working. So for that, I think I've answered your question.
Yeah, you have. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Great question, Emmanuel. And that's something really important. The transparency from a team is actually key, today in crypto. So what you just said, Gary, about the team going to docs themselves, that's the most bullish flag for me. I always say that docs projects are for me the most transparent one, and there's nothing more, transparent and trustworthy than said, hey, this is my face, I'm the CEO. So that's something that if they are going to do it, that's a great bullish thing for me, to be honest. So let's continue with another question. Let's just check who got it. Guys, if you can click raise hand once again, so maybe I can see one at the top. Okay, perfect. Kryptonite. That was the first one I saw. Kryptonite. I can only see like one person at a time. I don't know why. Like Kryptonite, you're unmuted. Feel free to ask your question, brother. Kryptonite.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. We can hear you.
Thanks for the opportunity, Dibrate. My question for you, because when I was actually following up the AME and I saw you guys mention about AME is actually the best part of marketing, right? That's why we are actually having an AME in the community every day. That's actually cool. So I want to touch on which kind of marketing plans do you guys plan on, to create awareness? You guys plan on doing some marketing that is going to make the project a project that is not only for AMA loans, that will attract non-users and people who are even in the crypto space. Because why doing so is going to help the project bring in more people to participate and going to give the project awareness in the crypto space. So apart from this AMA, what are the big marketing plans you guys plan in place to do?
Yep. So before that, let's understand how a project performs, right? Now, it is really important. I mean, pre-marketing is really, really important. And as you might go in the group, you might be able to see that a lot of marketing has already been done and it's already been going on, right? So a lot of stuff is done. Now, I had a very close and candid discussion with the CEO, and he has mentioned that creating a hype is really important for a project, right? So if you say, what about once the pre-sale gets ended, right? So after that, they have planned CMC, a fast track CMC, right? So it will be, within 6 hours or something that will be done. As I've had discussion with the team, right? So along with that, they'll be doing viral marketing. Now, what does viral marketing means? I mean, I personally had so many questions coming up, right? So they'll be doing viral marketing or stuff that every project's mentioned, right? Now, it is really important to understand what does that involve. Viral marketing means that creating an hype, along with that, giving a base for that hype to grow, right? So they have plans of doing calls. Now, there are big calls. They've already, had a discussion and they've already negotiated. It's just that they'll have to pay and release the calls, right? So that's how the community grows and that's how the hype gets created, right? So they've already planned. I mean, timing is really important. If you time it right, you'll get the community, you'll get the response, you'll get the return for the investors as well, right? So these are key factors that every project owners, they think about that, but usually they don't time it. But for them, they're timing it right, and you'll be able to see that audited project is raising a good amount of BNB right now, right? And also 23 minutes is still left to go. So let's see where they go, right?
That was actually a great answer, and thank you for that, Kryptonite. Thank you for your question. Also, marketing is also an essential thing in a project, to be honest, guys. Remember that without marketing, like I always say, you can have the best idea in the world, but if you can't market it correctly, it's going to be a tough one. So let's see. I'm seeing someone, but I don't know who that is. So let's go with someone I know that he has a question. So AI, the original, you're unmuted, brother. What's your question for today?
Okay, my question will be on the swap, the gel, and the Chimp pad and the Chimp chat. All these utilities have one particular problem or two that I would like him to walk me through, which is competition and security. So I want him to walk me through for the Chimp pad, the Chimp chat, and the Chimp swap. They all have problem. So walk me through the competition and security, and yeah, that is it.
Yeah, I got a question. And I think you're asking that what problem is going on right now with the other swaps or Chimp chat or whichever utilities we are bringing up, right? So I think I've understood the question right. So to answer that, now if I talk about chat, it's a unique way to get an interaction with somebody, right? If you're holding a good amount of token or if you're holding a small amount of token, you'll get rewards. Plus, you'll be able to use the services for free, right? You'll be able to do a video call, which is crystal clear, like any other platform you're using for the video call, right? So it gives a unique touch when the community gets interactive with the other community members. I mean, it gets interactive, and usually community attracts investors, right? If community plans to do something, they can definitely do it. If we take an example of Shiba, you might have seen that in the beginning, Shiba dropped to a hell lot. I mean, everybody thought that it's going to zero, right? So after that, many big exchanges also announced that they'll be doing the refund and all the stuff. Everybody is aware about that if they are in the space for quite some time, right? So after that, you have seen the pump, which is, I mean, the amount of return that Shiba gave to investors, those who hold it, right? So those communities, I mean, those communities are really important. Now, if I take an example of swap, what does the Chimp swap is solving, or the current issues are, right? So if I talk about Trust Wallet, there's also a certain amount of fees that gets implemented if you use inbuilt swap, right, in the Trust Wallet. The fees are a bit higher than what we use in the PancakeSwap, right? Our model will introduce a very low fees, negligible fees for swapping, right? If you use Chimp Swap, it will be much faster, it will be much cheaper, right, as compared to the market. I mean, of course, we'll try to match what the PancakeSwap is offering, but there's a bit of process gets involved in PancakeSwap, right? I mean, a lot of users use Trust Wallet swap just because how easy it is, right? But going into DApp and then going into PancakeSwap, it's a bit of additional process that gets involved, right? So that's why they pay a bit of higher prices, but they like to do it with Trust Swap, right? So we'll be reducing swap prices. It will be negligible, to be very honest. I've already seen the working model of them. So they are working. I cannot share it right now, but I've seen that, right? So I know what they're bringing into the market.
Great one.
And one thing regarding Chimpad. So Chimpad is will take time, and I mean, I'm not the right person to talk to right now regarding the Chimpad, right? So regarding that, it is really important that you join the group and you can ask CEO founder regarding that, right? So let's be very clear about that.
Thank you very much, AI, for that question, and Gary for that answer. Because of course you have clarified that you are doing your research, against competitor, and you're going to offer, some kind of advantage or difference. So it's actually really great to know. So let's keep it up with the questions. Let's check out. We have a question from, where is he? Nightwolf. I was seeing Nightwolf for here, but I can't see him anymore. Nightwolf, you're unmuted. Nightwolf. What's your question for today?
Hello, I'm audible.
Yeah, bro, you're audible.
All right. Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Of course, brother.
Yeah. So I just want to ask about cheap care. How we organizations that are related to saving animal life get in contact with you? Will there be an application where they will register for funding, or you will be the one to contact them first? And how will you verify it if the organization requesting for charity and reorganization, and not just some scammer trying to take advantage?
So your question was regarding charity, right? If I've understood correctly. So I missed a bit of
charity.
Yeah. So yeah, I had a discussion with the charity part, and it will be transparent. You'll be able to see all the transaction that is going on, right? If we allocate some amount of percentage of, funds to the charity, you'll be able to see that it is going to the right person, right? It will be a transparent process.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Nightwolf, for the answer. So It's going to be transparent on the way they're going to do charity, because of course everyone knows that doing charity, you need to show that you're actually giving money to the charity, right? So if they are going to make that transparent, it's going to be without any issue, I believe. So we still have a lot of people that wants to ask questions, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have 4. So let's go with Crypto Legend. I think he didn't ask the question today, so let me just find Crypto Legend. Crypto Legend here. Crypto Legend, you're allowed to speak, brother. Crypto Legend, are you there, brother?
Thank you for the opportunity to drive it.
Of course, my brother.
Presentation, I must say. Great presentation, I must say. I know most of the utilities are still in development, but I just want an insight on the Chimp chat. So I saw that to make calls, I need just a wallet address. So when you were presenting, you told us that we need to be holding your token to use the platform. So my question on that is, would I need to connect the wallet that I'm holding my token, or I could connect just any wallet? And would the Chimp chat be in form of app, or will be able to access it only through websites?
Yeah. So there's a 2 section for your question, right? So to address first section of your question is that, yeah, you'll have to connect the wallet, and you'll have to have certain holding in order to use that Chimp chat, right? So everything is that the community members are interacting with the community members, right? So for that, it is really important that you hold a certain amount of tokens. So it also gives what you can say, platform an upper hand that anybody who wants to use it should hold a certain amount of supply, right? So that's about it. And to address to your second question, pardon me if you could repeat the second question.
Yeah, I was asking if it would be the Chimp chat would be in form of an app. Will you guys be creating an app for it, or be able to access it through websites?
Yeah, got it. So it will be on web version, and in a couple of months or a couple of days, you'll be able to see the Android version and iOS version as well. So both the versions are coming. It'll be a smooth experience. The whole, I mean, if you'll open the D app, you'll be able to see that how smooth and how fast and interactive it is, right? So it's not that it is taking a lot of time to, generate or take inquiry from the transactions that are going on, right? The whole way to do is it that everybody can use it with a lot of ease, right? So that is something that they are targeting right now, and they have good developers to do that.
Okay, that's really amazing. Thanks for the great answers, and I wish you best of luck on your project.
That's great. Just let me just type your name that you ask your question, and we're going to go with Ben 10. Ben 10, you're allowed to speak. You wanted to ask a question? Go ahead.
All right. It's been a great presentation listening to the AMA. I just went to the website and I discovered that in terms of the NFT, that I can stake my NFT and earn more rewards. So I want to know, what are the staking and unstaking fees like? And if a user decides to unstake his NFT before the lockup period, are there going to be any penalty for that? Thank you.
Great question.
Yeah, that's a great question. So if I talk about NFT section, the development is ongoing, right? So regarding staking, you'll be able to see and standard unstaking fees that will be applied. It is really important that if platform offers 7 days of staking, or let's say 30 days of staking, so those amount of, any platform you go, if you unstake, there's a certain amount of fees that gets applied, and it's not that that they'll be applying a huge amount of fees, right? It will be standard, which is already ongoing in the market, right? So that will be it.
Thank you very much. Join your community for more questions. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you very much for the question, Ben 10. Thank you very much. And we have the Yellow Lip that wants to ask a question. Yellow Lip, you're allowed to speak.
Okay, I'm audible.
Yep, you are, brother.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I was going through the website basically, and I see some utilities and also some different things you guys are doing, which is interesting basically. There was a sentence you guys made whereby you guys say you guys will be rewarding the holders basically. And basically, I see that is going to be interesting. And you have most people come like holding and invest in your project. But I was just curious to ask this, because you have great investors and you'll be rewarding them. So basically, are you going to reward only the short-term investors, or you guys are also investing and rewarding the long-term investors too? And basically, what are the terms and criteria I need to do to invest in your project and also like getting the reward? Because basically you have great people and strong investors from crypto space who will be investing in your project. Basically some are there to invest in your project just for the reward, and some are here to invest in your project and to get some profit. So basically I was just asking, what are we going to need to hold, and basically what do we need? Is it by only holding the token only and we are going to get reward, or basically we have to do more things to also get in some reward? Yeah, that's my question. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question. So in order to answer that question, there are a couple of events that are going right now, right? So those are buying events, mega buying events, and in between also there were a couple of events, right? So a specific holding amount, a holding time is mentioned. So if you hold from after buying in the pre-sale, if you hold that much amount of time after the launch, you get the reward. Now that's a short-term reward that we are talking about, right? Now if I talk about long-term rewards, it's really important that we give investors who are, the diamond hands, right, for the project's growth. We want those investors to get a good return, right? So we'll definitely be working on that, and we want that to happen only, that the long-term holders get a very good reward. So accordingly, they've structured the reward section, right? So that's about it. We want the long-term holders to be getting good amount of rewards.
Okay, that's interesting, because you have people who will wanna like hold the token for the long term, basically to get in the reward, and you have lack of short term holders, you have more of long term investor, which I think you guys put in a great idea in that part. And thank you for the great answer. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Appreciate that, Yellow Lip.
Thank you very much, Yellow Lip, for that amazing question. So we still have 3 more. Let's go, and we still have a little bit more time. So let's go with my friend Sam Murphy. Sam Murphy, you're allowed to speak, brother. Oh, sorry, I clicked on view profile instead of allowed to speak. You're allowed to speak, Sam. Are you there, my brother?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you, brother?
Hey, all good. How about your Spain visit? It's going good?
Yeah, it's going great, man. I'm having an amazing time, to be honest.
Okay. Yes. I just wanted to have a very nice, discussion with this Dev, because a lot of meme projects keep coming in the market. But to survive in the market for more than 2-3 months is always difficult task for a project. If they capture to be in the market, in the bear market for 2 to 6 months, then in the bull market, they will perform well. So can I see any kind of trend setting, and what the developers want to do with this to get the community engaging for 2 to 6 months so that the project can survive and have a long journey?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Now, you might have seen, you might have heard in the beginning I've mentioned that the team is focusing on building community, and not only building community, but building a great community, right? So it's really important once the community gets built, right? And we have strong investors, we have strong holders. So that's how meme projects get successful. Now, adding to that, if you provide meme with an utility, that's a cherry on the cake, right? So that is something that is really important to see, that if a project is providing those both things or not, right? If you'll see big projects as well, they first build the community and then they provided the utility section, right? But for Chimp team, they are providing utility first. They are showing what they can do, and then they are building the community. You might be able to see that couple of promotions are incoming in the group, right? If you have joined the group. So Team doing great effect. Now it's up to the investors to really believe the team, right? And give them a bit of time to, show what they can do, right? So it is really important that first they are building the community, and once the building of community gets settled, the investors get a very good response. When it gets launched, the investors will stay, right? And new investors will keep on coming.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I really love this term, trendsetter. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Appreciate that, Sam.
Thank you very much, Sam. Thank you very much. We're closing to the end. So we still have 2 more questions to get to 10 community questions. And my friend Gary here is doing an amazing job. Gary, all the questions you're answering are really, really great. So let me just check who wants to ask a question. I have Crypto Captain that wants to ask a question. Crypto Captain, you're allowed to speak.
Hello, I'm audible.
Yeah, you're audible, man. You're audible.
All right. So I just want to ask, one of the criteria you use to evaluate projects is the project economics. I think this is really necessary to get the best project to bench. But what I would like to know, does your team intervene or help, for example, in balancing the token of the project? Can you make suggestions for the projects that can help in obtaining a better result?
Yeah, just to understand, you're talking about the tokenomics section, right? How those things will be done, right? So as already mentioned in the beginning, I've gone in depth to make you understand how allocations have been done, right? So I'll repeat it for you. Now, 3% is going for the marketing, and you'll be able to see that for future development, community prices, and burning and exchange listing, it's going right. Now, if we talk about burn, the main part is that the 3% burn is ongoing, right? So it's an automated burn. So the team is not doing it manually. It's an automated one. So with that, the supply will keep on reducing. Now, everybody is, clever to understand what happens when the supply gets reduced, right? The price goes up. It's a very direct proportionality, right? So, being said that, a very good tax allocation has been done, and they have really thought about it. They want the new investors to come in, but the GH suits for the taxes, right? For the project's development, of course.
That was great. That answer your question, man? I think so. So I was actually I don't know where he went, but he was Crypto Captain. Okay, I was actually also watching the fair launch, and it's actually going really well. You got like 49 at the moment, I think, and there's one 0.9 contribution that failed. I don't know why. I just seen it on the blockchain. There was a 0.9 contribution that failed, but it's feeling pretty decent. So we had the last question, and then we're going to go with the closing statements. Guy, please ask the last question quickly so we can talk a little bit more about the fair launch that is happening. I'm looking for Peter from Avocado. I can't see you on the list. If you can raise up your hand, brother, you could help me out a lot. Just 1 second. Oh, here you are. Peter, you're allowed to speak, man. Last question of the day. What's your question for today, Peter?
Yo, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, brother.
Yeah. So my question is, after the NFT staking, right?
Pardon me?
After the NFT staking.
The question is, how about NFT staking, right?
Yeah, after the NFT staking, would there be more marketing? I want to know what's the marketing plan, because I feel that's what everybody's missing. We need to know the marketing plan after your NFT staking.
Right, correct. That's correct. So it is really important that you, hit the last investor as well in the line, right? So there are a lot of investors that are waiting, but if you hit that last one as well, that's how successful the marketing should be, right? So the team is focusing on that only. Now, if I talk about NFT marketing, I mean, of course, they'll be doing a very good amount of that as well, considering that they are doing everything for the project's betterment, right? So it's not that they'll not focus on the marketing of the NFTs, right? So they'll definitely do it the big way, right? So currently, you can see that 50.91 we have the 50 BNB mark is crossed, right? So it's a very good achievement. Let's see, there is 1.5 minutes left. I'm hoping for a good race.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. We'll keep supporting, bro. Congrats and success, bro.
Appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you very much. And yeah, that's an amazing. I've been following up, the entire AMA with the BSC scan opened, and I've seen like 21, if I counted correctly, 21 contributions over the last hour. That's actually pretty great, to be honest, guys. To be honest, and Gary, there's 1 minute left, and I think that you of course are going to get a little bit more. But I counted 21 since we started the AMA. And that's amazing. But guys, I'm going to start with the closing statement of this wonderful AMA we had today with the Chimp Inu team. We had Gary representing them as their AMA specialist. Once again, this was an amazing AMA session at Drivit's Crypto Calls. Of course, guys, we've been discussing about this project in our launch before they came in here. And it's been wonderful. The AMA was fun, was informative. Gary is an amazing speaker that answered all the questions correctly without hesitation and was completely well informed about the project, man. So actually, it was great talking to you. And also, thank you very much for coming into the launch and spending 1 hour telling us more about the project, Gary. We all appreciate here. And this is just the beginning, because you're having like a almost 51 BNB contribution from Pixel Fair launch, and that's actually a decent contribution because it's not overfilled. Your partners that are Rich Quack, I think that they raised 40 BNBs, and then they did 3x at launch. So actually, you had a huge potential over here for when it's listed, and that's another thing. So good luck, man. That's anything. Not good luck. Just I wish you the best at all, because now the real fun begins. Once the project is listed, that's when real life gets in. And I know that you and the whole team are going to push forward to that. And I hope to see you in more channels doing AMAs and stuff. But that was my closing statement, Gary. So now I'm going to hand the microphone back to you so you can do a final closing statement, whatever you want to say to everyone here that invested into the fair launch, or they are maybe waiting to invest at launch. This is your time.
My man, what a community. Drybits community is amazing. If you have mentioned that it has been 1 hour, but I seriously feel that I didn't feel it should be in 1 hour. It should be, I seriously didn't feel that much amount of time, right? So the community is amazing. The questions were point on. Of course, they've did that study, and of course, you, my man, you have done a good amount of research on the project, right? I like a couple of questions, and it is really important that questions have been asked. Once the questions have been asked, the knowledge gets shared, right? So I might be having, issues with some of the, questions which they might have asked, but that is something that I've gained knowledge out of it, right? So a lot of things also the community might have gotten into, right? A lot of things that I've spoke about. So to end, Chimp Inu, it's a low market cap gem, and the amount of access are really, really high when it comes to low market gems. So be ready to ape it. I'll be ready to ape it. The team will be ready to pump it. Let's see where it goes, guys.
That's amazing, Gary. I'm looking forward, man. Looking forward. I wish you the best. I know that you're going to make it, man. You had a great AMA here, and I know that you're going to be on different auto channels. So best of luck, man. I know that you don't need it because, like I said, you're an amazing speaker. But once again, thank you very much for being here. And guys, thank you all the 73 participants that are right now. And we had an ATH of 86, I think. But everyone that joined and informed themselves about Chimp Inu. Remember, guys, Drivit Lounge is going to keep on watching this, and we're going to keep on supporting. So, guys, see you all until the next one. Have a great Sunday. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.